Hi everyone, Larry Satchwell here. Back in the shop today. It's a rainy morning in Georgia. It's supposed to clear up by this afternoon. But I was scrolling through Pinterest, much like you used to flip through magazines the other night, and came across this suet feeder. I thought I could do that. And of course, I'll leave a link to the original in the description. But all you need is some branch trimmings. I'm going to use a hammer. I found these nails at the household aisle in Kroger's. Of course, some suet, maybe a drill, and a saw. Although you can probably cut this with your pruning shears if you have those big loppers. What you do need to make sure of is that your limb is a little bit wider than your suet. If you've done that, it'll work. Let's get started. So we're going to establish the base, which is pretty easy to do. There's really no need to do measurements. So if this is the bottom, I'm going to cut it somewhere in this line right here. And then I need two sides, and the sides need to be longer than the bottom. So that's about that length, and that's about that length. And it really doesn't matter as long as they're the same size. So I'm going to cut these. I think I'll have room for that. Yeah. So once you have them cut, it should look something like that. And you just want to double check to make sure your suet is going to fit in there. Now you could just nail it right onto there, but my nails aren't long enough. I have some 2-inch galvanized nails here. So what I'm going to do is the same thing the original author did, and that's I'm going to cut a little notch in each one of these, not too much, because I want to make sure my suet still fits. But I'm going to notch those out. And you've already seen me saw enough, so I'm going to do that off camera. So when you're finished, it should look like this. Now you can either nail this in or screw it in. I'm just going to use a couple of nails. This is not a forever suet feeder. If this lasts through the rest of the winter, that's great because I'd only have a few nails invested in it. Before I nail these on though, if you're going to, depending on, you need to decide on how you're going to hang it. I'm going to use these eye bolts, and it's going to be a lot easier to put those in now instead of after it's assembled. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. That was a lot safer than it looked. It's going, this is pretty green wood, and it's going right in there. And now I can just use my hammer here as a little clutch. You could also use a screwdriver. But you can see how this is so much easier when I can turn the limb. And we'll repeat that on the other side. Now, our birds love suet. I'm going to start this nail before I do it. This could split. Might be better to drill it. It is going to split. So I'm going to drill just a couple of holes here. And I can tell you right now, the first one is going to be easier to put in than the second one because it's going to be hard to handle. But the screw doesn't, or the nail doesn't need to catch this part. It only needs to catch this, and that part is very unlikely to split. Double check to make sure that still fits, and it's looking good. Now comes the fun part. As I said, these are just a variety of sizes of nails that I picked up at Kroger's. We're just going to fill this in. I don't have the grip strength I did at one time, so I'm going to use my saw. I can fit this one right under that. Has a little curve here, make it easier. I'm going to put some video I took yesterday of the suet feeder. It was really busy yesterday, right before the storm. Clipping that off after you do that. All right, just keep going. So we'll put a little Ace bird blend in here. And let's go hang it up. Well, here it is in use, and you can see it's just been out here a few minutes. After observing, I'm going to take a couple of these little things away. They like it. Thanks for watching.